Okay, so I can't actually see the camera right now, and that might be an advantage. If it is, then I have something to work with. At least have like one less way that the inner critic can pulverize me today. Where am I? Fuck. Yeah, I started today with the half hour before, in the half hour when we were still waking up, not before we woke up, because that would have been quite a lot more challenging. But in the half an hour when we had just woken up, I watched and read out loud the affirmations for scapegoat recovery and the common responses, suggested internal responses to common critic attacks. I think that did actually help quite a lot. I think that probably doing it as a repeated thing, like habit formation, will probably make a big difference. On the first day, it's not like it didn't do what I expected. Like, maybe I start with expectations that are quite high. It's almost like I expected it to just kind of make the inner critic stop immediately, or make it happen less, or make the attack fantasies and the flashbacks happen less. It's not exactly like it's made them happen less today, but I have spent less time in them because it's made them easier to. I think I've noticed sooner, and it's been easier to just be like, oh, fuck off, instead of like, especially like flashbacks, it's a little harder because it's more like I've got to go through a grounding process, and I've got to go through like grounding to the body through the senses and grounding to the time period, to the room. I'm still not really sure how much we are in the present, because it's really rare that I feel like the vibe of where I am now. But sometimes I do, and I'm like, oh, that's really fucking different. So then that makes me think a lot of the time I'm like more in the vibe of somewhere in the past, somewhere other than here and now. But it's kind of giving me more fight, I guess. I like definitely the inner critic rampages. I think maybe if it goes so far that an inner critic thought or comment triggers a flashback, then I've got to deal with the flashback first, and then like I think if it goes into that, then you're dealing with more than one thing, and it's like quite a lot more fucking intense. Quite a lot more processes have to be dealt with at once. But for just like definitely things like endangerment attacks and perfectionist perfectionism attacks, I've definitely noticed like how often that fucking happens to me, and that's like, oh my god, so much of my fucking day is based around that. So much of how I perceive the world and what's going to happen in any given situation is that. But I've also noticed and been able to be like, fuck off with that really quick. And then the attack fantasies, they've got another name actually, they are listed. But it's like, oh fuck, do you know, my gut was like, it's perseverating, that's the word. Perseverating about being attacked. And I was just like, nah, I'm not sure about that. But it is that. Perseverating about being attacked. Unless there are clear signs of danger, I will thought stop my projection of past bullies, critics, onto others. The majority of my fellow human beings are peaceful people. I have legal authorities and us to aid in my protection if threatened by the few who aren't. I invoke thoughts and images of my friends' love and support. I've been thinking about that thought correction response kind of below my conscious registry. I didn't realize that I was thinking that, but I did spend a lot of today thinking about the ways we're supported within the system and by Ryan and by our friends. And especially I noticed that I was like conjuring those sort of memories and those images after going fuck off to a thought and an attack fantasy playing out about, yeah, being attacked or judged. I'm so fucking tired. Holy shit. I'm still getting a bit like the perfectionist ones are, oh my god, the perfectionist ones are fucking nightmare. Like, everything I'm doing feels like it has to be perfect. The fact that I can't really see the camera right now because of the sunlight. Like, I can loosely see myself, but not well enough to know really what I look like. And I think that's a good thing because then I can't fucking hyper focus on it. But now I'm hyper focusing on not being able to see it, and the way I'm speaking, because I'm tired, everything isn't coming out quite as concise as it could. There's a lot I'm having to do to remind myself that working in a way that is good enough is good enough. Like, yeah, I think it's helping to have started our day with those affirmations and the thought correction responses. And I think if I keep doing it every morning, then maybe it'll just drill those kind of responses in, and then when I am getting berated by the inner critic inside, then I'm going to be more likely to A, catch it, and B, know the kind of responses to say that will make it just shut the fuck up. I think it's hard to tell how helpful it is right now because I've just started, and I think just starting, actually the main thing I notice is how much it happens and how hard it is, which is a good thing in terms of like I am noticing it, I'm becoming aware, and awareness precedes control. So I can actually do something to address it if I'm more aware of when it's happening. But also becoming more aware of where it's happening, it just makes it seem so insurmountable and like so fucking much. And like, I don't notice that it has been this much. I just notice it now. So it's like, it's hard to say that it's helping when really it feels like a lot worse. But I think it only feels a lot worse because I'm just seeing how bad it is. And I think actually it's been really, I think that's part of what is helpful. So I think that it's like probably pretty rough in early days of shrinking the inner critic, but absolutely essential. And I'm gonna I'm gonna bet that this is helpful, even if it doesn't immediately seem like it. I am finding it hard to like. I'm very back and forth with stuff. Like, still trying to just go for completely radical self trust. I notice that it's very challenging. I'm experiencing really a lot of self doubt and criticism and hyper focus on anything that could be perceived not perfect in my look, my aesthetic, my voice, what I'm saying, how I'm saying it, the way my face is moving as I talk, the way that shadows could be casting off my face. The fact that this is all going on, it's like, it feels like it's gone on a sort of absolutely intense fucking mega rampage because I've started noticing it, and now it's just targeting everything at like a lot more intensity. Also, got to remember that it's kind of new for some parts of me, and that it's not split between different parts of me, so like everything's making it really a lot right now. I'm gonna keep doing what we're doing, and I think it's helping, even though it seems like it's getting worse.